Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Radco. I'm James Alvarado. Today we're talking about Failure's comeback record, The Heart is a Monster. This thing came out at the tail end of June through the band's own label, Failure Records. The band consists of vocalist and guitarist Ken Andrews, bassist and contributing vocalist Greg Edwards, and drummer Kelly Scott. So, Failure. I love this band. They're responsible for two of my favorite records, just in general. And the first of those was also my first experience with the band, a record called Magnified. And that thing is just so heavy to me, and I fell in love with the bass-driven approach to the songwriting on that record. Some examples are the songs Frogs, Wet Gravity, Small Crimes, and I know the band is generally considered space rock or alternative rock or even post-grunge with the way they influence that genre, but to me this was much more of a post-hardcore record with its nods to things bands like Fugazi and the Jesus Lizard were doing. Following Magnified, the band gave us the record Fantastic Planet. To me, this album has been a little bit underrated, although it has been getting its due lately. This release saw the band slow things down a little bit and focus a little less on the bass-driven approach that the band used on Magnified. But that was in exchange for some really huge guitar tones and songs. The record is much more of a journey this time around. And the sounds on this thing are really reminiscent to me of another spacey, shoegazy band at the time, Starflyer 59, and their record Gold. Both of these records are near and dear to me, so naturally when I heard that Failure was going to be releasing another record almost 20 years after Fantastic Planet came out, I was excited, skeptical, even a little worried. But here we are. It's here, and it's definitely a Failure record. The album starts off with Segway 4, a nice little callback to Fantastic Planet which contained Segways 1 through 3. We get our first taste of their new material though in the next track, Hot Traveler, and I gotta say this track didn't do much to calm my fears about this record. I still don't know how I feel about it one way or the other. It sounds like Failure, but it just doesn't have anything there that gets my heart pumping, you know? The next track though, AM Amnesia, that's where I was just like, yes, Failure's back. Andrew's vocals are great here. You get the signature guitar tone on the chorus, and the bass takes the wheel on the verses. It's a really great track. Similar revelations on the track Snow Angel that follows it. You get the acoustic guitar perking its head up here, and although it's not as aggressive as the previous tracks, it shows the band's progression in the electronics that they're using underneath everything here and the dynamics that are going on all throughout this song. It's constantly bringing you up and letting you back down. In the middle here we get some of my favorite tracks. Counterfeit Sky, which if you look at Fantastic Planet as the big, huge sci-fi adventure, this track proves that this album is the techno thriller of the band's discography. It's got some octave effects on the guitar that lend it this really creepy vibe that goes really well with the haunting chorus of this track. After that you get the track Petting the Carpet, and my gosh, the bass riff on this thing is so heavy. I love this song, it just puts a smile on my face. It's a nice nod to the Magnified era, and although it's not new, the band played it years back, this is the track where I was like, okay, Failure's back, and they still slay. Later on you get the track Fairlight Era, which is reminiscent of a track like Bernie off of Magnified. And then you get a really satisfying slow burn in the song Come Crashing that really pays off at the end. There's also a really nice, brisk single out of the track The Focus, which I enjoyed quite a bit. All in all, I'm super happy with this record, and it's not just nostalgia. The band has progressed. I love a lot of the tracks on this thing. My only hang-up is that I feel like the band tried to fit a little bit too much on here. It's long, and maybe that's just a callback to the 90s where every band felt like they had to fill up every single minute of a CD. But here I think it's long when it doesn't need to be. Some of the tracks here just didn't do it for me, like the aforementioned Hot Traveler, Atom City Queen, and I get what they were trying to do on the track Mulholland Drive, but that kind of fell flat for me too. To me, they easily could have whittled this thing down and it would have been one of my favorite records of the year so far, warranting an 8.5 or a 9. But as it stands now, I'm feeling a 7.5 on this thing. I loved a lot of the tracks from it. I'm happy to see the band back, and with a few adjustments to the playlist, I'll be returning to this album quite a bit. What did you guys think of it? Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share. You can follow us on all social media at radco. Check out radcompany.com where there's some more content going up daily. And that's all I got. You guys have a good one. I'll see you on Wednesday.